And we are live. Alrighty. Bring up the chat real quick. Alright, we are good to go. Alright, this is going to be Delta 2398 from Salt Lake City to Phoenix, Arizona. Let's just go ahead and get everything set up. I need you on that page. I'm going to go ahead and call for refueling. And according to our fuel dispatch, we're going to need 17.0. So 17,049. 17,049. Goes right there. 8524 in both tanks. That's a 37% load. One thing I forgot to do is connect that. Board times at 1950, and it's currently 1923. Alright, go ahead and log in to dispatch. This is 2398 to Phoenix, scheduled departure at 2015, arrival at 2055. Manifest, 148 passengers, their baggage, an air conditioner, and a box of aircraft parts. Proceed, that is our flight, 148 passengers. Alright, fuel truck is in position. They're going to load on all that gas we just ordered. Just a real quick check, LA Center is online. We need to go ahead and file our flight plan. There we go. We'll be looking for a Salt Lake Center or any of the other controllers to be on. Alright, let's run through the safety checks. First thing we do when we get on the plane is the safety checks. Make sure all our safety equipment's up and running. Test good, stick shaker left side and right side. Test the LE devices light. Let's move that to dim. Actually, no, I don't need that. Go on the wind where I like you. Check that, looks good. Okay, my oxygen's working. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the panel lights because the sun is starting to go down, so we're probably going to need them. Don't need them on full intensity, but we'll most likely need them at some point. Get these two right here. Alrighty, turn that off. Let's test GPWS, and while we do that, we'll hop over to the FO seat and set this up the way I like it to be set. Which is that.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear, terrain, terrain, pull up.
Alright, GPWS is working. Let's check this fire warning system. And right here. Alright, that's working. TCAS test. And light test.
TCAS test. Pass.
Alright, lights are working. Recall, good. Alrighty. I need this on the FMS. Just add a date, that's fine, I don't care. It'll work. And we are taking off Salt Lake City to Phoenix, which is PHX. We are Delta 2389. And I'll finish that in a moment. Payload. Let's go ahead and set the payload up. Alright, we've already logged in, so dispatch release has been sent to us. And I just need to know the balancing info Forward cargo is 3953. Aft cargo 4887. Okay, and there are 148 passengers. So let's put 10 in first class and 138 in the cattle class. There we go. And that just loads the plane. Passengers haven't actually boarded the aircraft yet. Alright, couple of notes from the dispatcher here. Let's see, average snack service is 15 minutes. Cabin crew handles that, so I don't care. At arrival at Phoenix, expect taxi to gate 19. Transition altitudes are 18,000. Arrival window is 16 minutes early to 6 minutes late. Minimum safe distance for all airports is 2,400 feet. Performance data requires top of climb within 22 minutes after takeoff. Going up to flight level 330 today should be no problem. Salt Lake City is a high altitude airport. Check takeoff performance. PRC is a high altitude airport. Aircraft requires 7,000 feet landing runway, 7,552 feet available. PRC is our alternate. Check landing performance. By the time we get to the airport, we should be good on that. If we have to divert, that should be no problem. Looks like they're done with the fuel. So we can go ahead and cut on the fuel pumps. Only the wing pumps are needed. Alrighty, and alright, let's go ahead and get the FMS loaded up. Put this on plan page, zoom that out a bit. I need my dispatch brought up. Let's see, Salt Lake City via Edith 2 to Bryce Canyon. Alright, so departing via Edith 3 to Bryce Canyon. That means only runways 34, left, right, or 35 are available. Most likely going to be 34 right. That's the one I'm going to plan for. And from Bryce Canyon, we go via J11 to KORKR. J11, or CORKR. Why did I call it K? I don't remember. Corker. And then from there, go to Tents, TENTS, via Bruiser 1, TENTS. Tents, and arrive into Phoenix on the Bruiser 1 arrival. Let's check their TAFs to see what runways they're using. Let's see, where's the TAF going to be? Phoenix. These are all NOTAMs. Nice to have, but I don't really pay much attention to them on VATSIM. Let's see, we're estimating our arrival at 0400. Yeah, so we're estimating the arrival at 0400. So for 16 to 160100, gust 0400 here. Winds 30012, gusting 20. Skies clear, greater than 6 miles. So 30012. That'll be favoring the 25s. Let me bring up the airport diagram for that one real quick. I got my iPad here with the charts and stuff on it. PHX, Phoenix Sky Harbor International, Phoenix, Arizona. Airport diagram, please. Rotate that so we have north at the top. If the winds are 300, it's going to be runway 26 most likely. We're heading to Terminal 3. Don't know what side of the airport that's on. Okay, 19. It could be either one of them. We'll plan for runway 26. How about that? Bruiser 126, Tents transition. And just quick, I'm going to flip back to Salt Lake City because I need to review the SID. Edith 3, Bryce Canyon, J11, Corker, Direct Tents, Bruiser 126 Vector. Sounds good. And our alternate destination, in the event of a divert, we head for PRC, Love Field, KPRC. PRC. Alrighty, the fun stuff. Alright, dispatch said a fuel load of 17.0. There's 17.3 on board. Pumps are on. 0 fuel weight today. 126.7. Our fuel reserves 7.7. Cost index, I believe, was 54. Yep, 54. We're climbing up to flight level 330. Cruise winds 350 at 28, and ISA deviation is +3. 350 at 28. Oh, at 28, and ISA deviation is 3. +3. Okay, how hot? It's 7 degrees outside. So 7 degrees. Let's derate. We're a high altitude airport, so let's only use the 24K derate and climb mode 1, and we'll assume temperature of 20 degrees. No descent path after Kuko. Whatever, I'll look at that later. Okay, takeoff will be with flaps 5. We'll punch in our CG, which is 24.8, giving us a 4.94 trim. Yep, right there. And V speeds are 138, 139, and 146. Alright, that looks good. Alright, real quick, let's review the flight plan. Trilla? I thought that said Triella for a minute, but wait! Triella? Did they name a waypoint after one of my favorite anime characters? Alright, that looks good. Everything's nice and connected. That on 5, center mode with traffic. Alright, we're going to flip our flight directors on. We're going to need them. Put you on takeoff mode because that's where I'm going to need you. And we'll go ahead and close the rear door because that's not going to be needed anymore. Alrighty then. Let's review this SID. And we planned for 3-4 right, I believe, was our departure. Okay, so it's climb heading 341. To 4,700, then left turn direct Sapie via depicted route to Edith, then via transition maintain flight level 230 or lower filed altitude. Expect filed altitude in 10 minutes after departure. Is there a controller online? Still just LAX center, and we're not near him. I'm going to set this to flight level 230. That's the top altitude on the SID. Look this over. Got to choose which noise abatement departure procedure to use. Let me get my papers here. Procedure. First crossing restriction is 10,000 and 230 at Buko. Let me set. So that would lean us to procedure A, would be the best choice. Yeah, okay, so we'll use ICAO departure alpha for the noise abatement, which is V2 plus 10 all the way up to 3000 AGL. V2 is 146, which would be 176. I'll just set 180 on here. That's close enough for government work. So we maintain that speed until 3000 feet AGL, and then it's climb thrust to flat retraction. 230 is the fastest we can go on this SID. It's at or below 10,000 at Bucko, then at or above 10,000 at Scant, exactly 11,000 at Hidut, 13,000 or above at Tool, and flight level 230 or below at 250 knots at Musal. Salt Lake City's always got these really interesting transit or SIDs going into and out of the airport. Alrighty then, go away. I just need to check this. 1938. Okay, about 10 minutes and we can start boarding the aircraft. Alright, so FMS is programmed. Safety checks are completed. Did I ever set my weather? I don't think I did. We'll set weather real quick. Come on. Oh, it's gonna be one of those pain in the butts. Boom. Alright, it's updating. Let's take a look, see what's going on here. Company Airbus, looks like an A320 right next to me. 757, and it's either a 767 right next to him. That's a 757-300 over there. Looks like another Airbus. Possibly an Embraer or a CRJ-200 parked way over there. A couple of Mad Dogs. Some prop liners and an ERJ, several ERJs over there. And a company MD-11 it looks like. Not quite sure who that is. Most of this is AI, but that actually looks like a player over there. Let's see. Well, I need to disable AI, but I'll leave them on for the time being. We'll disable AI traffic when we actually are about to push back. Alrighty. What's next? Set up the autopilot. That might be a good thing. 341. Oh, we already did set that up. Doi. Okay, we set fuel, set payload. Ground connections are good. Doors are good for now. This is at center map, set lowest range. Alright, let's go ahead and set this to 122.8, but leave it on the standby for now. Yep, we are all good as far as setup is done. Okay, so we got nothing left to do but review our procedurals. Let's look through the NOTAMs and see if there is anything to worry about at Salt Lake. Let's see, runway 16 threshold markings, November side, not standard. Let me bring up the airport diagram real quick. Which one is that one? Runway 16, right. And it's on the November side. Or north side markings are non-standard. Taxiway Mike. Holding position markings for ILS runway 1432. Not standard, so that's on Mike. 1432. It's on the other side of the airport, no factor. Okay, other NOTAMs. Edith 3 departure, this one's for us. Burley transition, we're taking the Bryce Canyon transition. Minimum en route altitude flight 190, so that one doesn't apply to us. These are all for approaches. Alright, so there's nothing going on NOTAM wise that we need to worry too much about. Let's look over. Our takeoff weight is 143.4, which is below max landing weight, so we shouldn't have to dump fuel if we have an emergency. Alrighty. I'm expecting runway 34 right for departure. No de-icing should be needed. We're parked here at the U.S. Customs Terminal, which is the Delta Terminal. Runway 34 right is 12,000 feet long. Alright, let's do our departure briefing. We'll be departing via the Edith 3 departure, runway 34 right, Bryce Canyon transition, which has all the crossing restrictions that I noted before. Notably, the first one we need to worry about is Bucko at or below 10,230 knots. We'll fly heading 341 to 4,700 feet before turning left to Sapie. We'll be using ICAO departure procedure Alpha for our noise abatement. Holding speed 180 before accelerating to 230. Our V speeds, V1 is at 138, VR 139, and V2 146. It's be a flaps 5 departure on our dry runway. The safety briefing, brake release to 100 knots. I'll abort for any failure or fire or warning alarm of any kind. From 100 knots to V1, I'll abort only for engine failure, engine fire, loss of directional control, or takeoff configuration warning horn. If I do abort, I'll verify the auto brakes kick in automatically. I'll deploy the speed brakes and use maximum available reverse thrust. Come to a stop on the runway and advise the controller if there is one online. Unless the airplane is on fire, be prepared to taxi off the runway and then reassess. If something is on fire, we'll shut down right there and evacuate on the runway. If we have to abort after V1, we will throw the SID out the window, but we'll follow the SID for the most part as we depart because we don't want to really hit anything. But as far as crossing restrictions, throw it out the window. We're going to proceed up to 8,000 feet and advise ATC of our situation. It'll be a normal cleanup procedures as far as any emergency after takeoff. Alright, that is the departure briefing complete. Alright, real quick, we need to listen to ATIS, which is on 124.75. We'll set that 124.75.
Salt Lake Airport information, Yankee 0143 Zulu. Wind 318 at 17. Visibility 17. Sky conditions, few clouds at 6,000, 9,500. Scattered. Temperature 11, dew point -2. Altimeter 2997. ILS runway 34 right. ILS runway 34 left. ILS runway 35.
Got the info. Altimeter 2997. Temperature 11. Dew point -7. All this talking is making me thirsty. Alright. Still no controller online, but my flight plan is filed. Alrighty then. How we doing on time? Alright, they should be telling us the cabin's ready for boarding soon. Yep, right there it is. Cabin is ready for boarding. Alright, just going to verify a couple things with dispatch. 2015 is our departure time. We'll start boarding in just a second. 65, payload 33. Can't pull the manifest from here for some reason. Alright. Alright, cabin crew, tell the gate agents they can actually start boarding the aircraft now. We are ready for boarding. Close that off. Yeah, you can definitely gonna need the panel lighting tonight. That sun's going down quick. This airport lies in the shadow of a mountain. Well, sun's going down over there, mountain's over there. Not quite where I thought it was. Haven't flown out of this airport in a long time. Oh, you know, one thing I forgot to set is our pressurization. Pickup. We're climbing up to flight level 330 and arrival airfield elevation. Where's that at? 1,135 feet. Right there. Alrighty, just double check all that. You're all good here. Alright, we just gotta wait for the cattle to get on board the airplane, and we will be golden. That is literally all we gotta wait on. So let's run through. Did I ever connect this? No, I did not. Let's run through the checklist with our first officer, who I believe is Tess Thompson tonight.
Pre-start checklist.
Okay, pre-start checks. Oxygen crew supply.
Tested.
Tested. Display.
Normal.
Window heat.
Okay, it's on.
Pressurization.
Auto.
Parking brake.
Okay, that's set.
Flight instruments.
Set. Correct.
Engine start switches.
Cut off.
Pre-start checklist complete.
Alright, that's the pre-start checks. Next checklist is the before engine start checklist. Alright, we've done the safety checks, we've set everything up, receiving flows complete, pre-start checks and flows are complete. We just have to wait on the passengers to get on board. Our departure time is at what time? 2015, which would be 02:15 Zulu on that clock. Alright, so let me check and see if anyone is watching this. There is nobody. Of course there's not. Nobody ever wants to come watch me. Wish I could look at that guy. That's the company MD-11, and that's a player. 501. Delta 501. He is on his departure. Doesn't show up in the list. He goes off the border. That is one steep bank, buddy. Well, there he goes. Don't know where he's going. He's a heavy bird. Alright, anyone else hanging around here? That's probably AI traffic. There's another 757 there in the breast cancer paint job. CRJ 200 over there. It's an Embraer. Oh, is he turning in here? The squeaky chair. Squeaky chair is real. Pavement departure procedure alpha. Acceleration height is 3,000 feet AGL. And the reduction is 1,500 feet AGL. Climb mode, dry runway, assumed thrust 20 degrees, engine out, acceleration height 800 AGL, I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so noise abatement departure procedure alpha, takeoff, maintain V2 plus 10 to 20, which is 180, was what I have set, to 1,500 feet, then climb thrust, same speed up to 3,000 feet, then continuing climb thrust, accelerate through, flat retraction speed to the climb speed of 230 knots for our SID today. Flat 5, 138, 139, 146. Hello, Mr. Little Small, how you doing? Thanks for joining in on the live stream tonight. Just so you are aware, the live stream is delayed by about 5 seconds. So if it looks like I'm a bit slow for you, that's why. Or I might not saw your question. Yeah, right now you're the only one here. Tell your friends. We are boarding the aircraft now, heading to Phoenix. Currently about halfway done with the boarding already. Jesus Christ, they don't waste any time. I guess they have been boarding for about 10 minutes now. Alright, planning departure time assigned departure time is 2015, but I think we'll be beating that. And we are on VATSIM, but there's still no controller online that we need to worry about. The closest one's LAX Center, and we're ways away from him. Right now, I don't really have much to do, but review the departure procedure for the 5th time and wait on the passengers to get on board. Any questions, comments, concerns, let me add them. I'm not too busy right now, so can definitely do it. I can try. Lovely day here in Salt Lake. Visibility's a little crap, but other than that, it looks nice. That's more AI. Get my views set up the way I like them. That way we can look at the aircraft from the ground. Yeah. Nope, I do not use FS2 Crew, mainly because FS2 Crew does not let you customize things, and I like to customize things to suit my way of flying. I am using Flight Deck Companion, which is an old as hell add-on, but it does give me a first officer that will run through the checklist with me, just to make sure I don't forget anything. The main reason I like this one, though, over FS2 Crew is because this one's customizable, although it's old as hell and doesn't really work too well. But it gets the job done. Definitely gets the job done. You'll hear it a little later when we start running through the before start checks, which should be happening here shortly. I'm going to go ahead and tell ground crew to get the bags on board. There comes our bags from way the heck over there. Let's play around with dispatch for a bit. We'll go with manual load at the end.
Hello.
We're carrying 148 passengers today. 148 idiots are actually getting on this plane.
Hello.
They have no idea what they are in for. Wave goodbye to your family, everyone. You might not see them again.
Hello.
Sorry. Man, the boarding sounds with GSX are really just repetitive. Who's taxiing around over there? Company CRJ 200, maybe an Embraer, something or another is. Two of them. Yep, this is Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City, Utah. Sun going down over there. Bright as all hell. Got some AI planes next to us. I'll be turning off AI here before too long.
Welcome aboard. Hello. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard Suicide Airways.
Hello.
twiddle the switch.
Good morning. Thank you. Welcome aboard.
75% complete. And it's just 202.
Hi, morning.
Let's go ahead and flip off the AI traffic and flip us over to advisory so we can listen in on anyone and double check. Still no ATC on, but I'll go ahead and flip on my transponder and we'll set 2200 on the transponder for the IFR squawk. Looks like they're getting the bags on board. First flight sim, first person view. Alright, that's cargo on board, and I'm just going to check the manifest real quick. For cargo today, we are carrying the passengers' bags, plus an air conditioner and a box of aircraft parts. Interesting. Okay, that is boarding complete with GSX. We can go ahead and close the cargo doors now, since they're done with that. And since we're getting close to boarding time, parking brake set. Let's go ahead and flip on the seatbelt signs. Hydraulics are off. And we'll go ahead and get the APU started up. Alright, look for the gen light to flip on for a second. Alright, low oil pressure. Should see EGT start to rise here in a minute. Oh, you have Flight Beam Phoenix. Now, I don't have any scenery for Phoenix. I'm going to be using the default scenery, so I don't really fly to Phoenix a lot. I come to Salt Lake more than Phoenix, but I haven't been to Salt Lake in a while, or haven't flown out of Salt Lake in a while. I arrived at this airport a few days ago. Did a flight from Seattle, actually, like you said, and I don't have scenery for Seattle either. I use an AFCAD mod for Seattle that adds the third runway. Flip APU on over there. So that's set, that's set. We'll go ahead and flip off hydraulic electric pump 2. Alright. And parking brake is set. I can disconnect external services now. Aircraft is running off internal power. We just need to be able to close the doors. And we are 95% complete on the boarding. Looks like we might just make this. Okay, got the iPad here, got my charts loaded up on the iPad. I'm going to need the airport diagram next. Alrighty. Expecting 3-4 right. No de-icing required. And I'm gonna go ahead and pre-type my message in. Salt Lake City, T/O, runway 34 right. That way I can just have that ready to go when I need it. Alright, boarding is complete. We just gotta wait on... Just gotta wait on them to get seated.
Welcome aboard, everyone. Before we can close the door and get going, we need all passengers to stow their carry-on luggage in the overhead bins above or beneath the seat in front of you. If you're placing your items under the seat, please make sure they are placed completely underneath the seat and not obstructing the road.
Before start checks.
Before start checks.
Okay, before start checks.
Safety information card in the seat back.
Doors.
Closed and locked.
Fuel quantity.
Check.
Cabin sign.
On. MCP set.
Takeoff speed.
Reviewed set.
CDU.
Completed.
Trim.
Zeroed.
Beacon light switch.
Okay, it's on.
Before start checks complete.
Alrighty then. We'll go ahead and...
Hello, everyone. This is First Officer Tess Thompson. On behalf of the entire crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard. Just wanted to let you know that we'll be closing the doors and pushing back in just a
keep
couple of
forgetting
minutes
you have
to get
to
us
leave
on our
them
way.
open to do
Once
this
again,
part.
welcome aboard.
Alright, proceed. They just sent us a message. Be advised, WX at Phoenix reported winds 340, runways dry. Whatever, that's not gonna stop us. Aircraft. Aircraft is the correct load. Alright, flight attendants report cabin is ready for departure and weather hold. Destination below minimums. How are they below minimums? It was the wind, most likely. They're not close enough for that to load in yet. I'm going to release that. I'm not going to sit here. So I'm going to wait on dispatch to... Alright, text traffic down. I don't know where he's at. Dispatch is going to hopefully release us from our weather hold soon. Well, thanks for the sub, man. Glad you enjoyed them. I try to make them as informative as possible, though they don't always end up as desired. Weather release approved at pilot's request. Acknowledged. We are cleared for departure. Alright, prepare for push and start. Nose will go to the right, tail to the left. No, I don't want to start the engines prior to pushback. Alright, we are underway. Start sequence is going to be 2, then 1. Turning off the packs. Those are off, that's off, we're good.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Alright, go in sterile cockpit for a minute so I won't be able to answer questions in the chat.
Locking gear.
Locking gear. Hello there.
Departure check completed.
He can talk without moving his lips. That is impressive.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Alright, cabin crew has informed me the doors are on and the cross-check is complete. We have been cleared for startup. We'll do so once we clear the ground equipment here. Alright. We've cleared ground equipment. Let's start number 2. Man, that caused my frame rate to plummet for a second there. Man, that pop-out gauge just eats the frame rate. Alright, 2 is crunk.
Set parking brakes.
Brake set to park.
Brake pressure up.
2 is up. Start valve closed. Start number 1. Alright, cranking 1.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass being removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Alright, wave hi to him, or wave goodbye to him. Start valve closed. After start flows, gen, hydraulics, pitot heat, bleed air, turn APUs off, at the auto, packs back to on, because they're not going to be needed off. Alright, and we can go ahead and kill the APU now. Text light on, those over to continuous. Alright, full left, center, full right, center, full back, center, full front, center, rudder left, center, rudder right, center. Set flaps 5. Go ahead and get the safety briefing started.
Flaps 1.
Alright, after start checks.
After start checks.
Okay, after start check. Flap 2. Generator control switches. On. Flap 5. Pitot heat. On. Anti-ice. Off. Isolation valve switch. Auto. Engine start switches. Continuous. Recall. Checked. Auto brake. As required. Flight control. Checked. After start checks complete.
Alright,
Parking brake.
we're
Off.
heading to 3-4 right. Best way to get there is to take the ramp taxiway over to hotel. Hotel parallels the runway, which will be on the left side.
Okay on the right.
Okay on the left.
Flaps are set to 5 for takeoff. Alright, this is the ramp taxiway here. We're clear on the left and right. Yeah, wave goodbye to your family. You might not ever see them again. Especially with the mountains around here. Alright, looking for a right turn on the hotel, which is at the end of the ramp. Everybody's coming that way or that way. Alrighty, once we clear the terminal area, we'll start running through the before takeoff checks, which includes flipping on the transponder to TARA, as well as auto throttle arm, lights, and fun stuff like that. Location check, we're on hotel, passing hotel 5. Alright. Put the diagram away, I don't need that anymore. Do need my arrival though, or my departure. And final ATC check. Oakland Center is online, but he's way away from us. Alright, we're clear of the terminal area. Let's go ahead and flip this over to TARA mode. Auto throttle armed. And we'll flip on runway turnoff lights. Those are set to continuous. Auto brakes set RTO. We are good to go. Winds are pretty good, but they're right down the runway for the most part, so we shouldn't have too much of a problem. Alrighty. Sounds like the flight attendants are done with the safety briefing. Think. Alright, before takeoff checks.
Okay, before takeoff checks.
Okay, before takeoff checks. Flaps. Flaps 5 set. Stabilizer trim set. Cabin informed. Checklist complete.
Alright, cabin has been informed.
Flight attendants, prepare for departure.
Alrighty. Let's get airborne. Landing and strobe lights on. Runway is clear. And final is clear. Engines are stable at 40%, not quite yet. We're at 40.1 on the left side, 41.0 on the right side. That matches. Take off. Wind is a little gusty. Throttle hold engaged.
V1.
E2.
Gear up.
Gear up.
And maintain 180 until 1,500 feet.
Gear up and lock.
Okay.
Right, turning direct. LNAV's on. Right, reduction, level change. Maintain 180 knots. Until 3,000 feet. Flaps 2.
Speed check. Lap 2.
Alright, we're at 3,000 feet above the field now. Resume normal climb, 230 knots, top speed. Alright, flaps 1. Alright. That's off.
Flap 1.
That's off. Oh, no. Those stay on. Those go off. And that's off, that's off, that's off. And then you guys go back to off. Ah, the sun. Flaps up. After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checks.
Okay. After takeoff check. Bleed air. On. Speed check. Laps up. Pack. Auto. Landing gear. Up. Laps. Laps up. Checklist complete.
Alright, we passed 10,000 feet. Turn landing lights off. Climbing through the cloud layer. Base right now. Alright. Wasn't too bad of a departure. We stuck to the noise abatement procedure. Okay, now we're not supposed to cross this waypoint until we're below 10,000, but we climb a little quicker than they would like. That's a weird arrangement they got there. I don't know why they want you at or below this waypoint at 10,000. Probably has something to do with arrival flows, but there's no traffic coming in at the moment, so we're safe to go above it. I care more about not smashing into a mountain. I'll get to your questions in a second, guys. Let me get to the flight levels, and I'll turn the autopilot on.
Chicken or fish. We also have a few vegetarian meals aboard. Soft drinks, juice or water is free. Beer and wine is available for $3. Correct change is appreciated.
Although gate-to-gate time is an hour 40 minutes, so it's really not going to take long to get to Phoenix. It's not too terribly long of a flight. Up on the flight levels.
Transition altitude. Altimeter.
Standard 29902.
It's a bit bumpy climbing through these clouds. Okay, we'll maintain flight level 230 into Musa. Engaging autopilot command Alpha. Alrighty then, what is the flight time? And to answer your other question, I have done live streams before in the last week. This is actually the first real live stream I've done. I had a couple of test live streams earlier this week, but this is the first one I've actually done that was not a test live stream. And flight time to Phoenix, we're estimating arrival at 03:30, which is pretty much an hour from now. It's 02:27 now. So yeah, about an hour essentially. Right. Maintain flight level 230 into Missile. Zoom this out a bit. We'll wait until we are above all these clouds, because it's before we turn off the seatbelt signs. It's gonna be a bit bumpy, I think. 1,000 to go. MCP speed set. We're leveling off at 230 until we pass Moosaw. Because it wants us at or below 230. And I can turn these off. We already contrailing? Yep. Looks like we just started contrailing though. Man, these clouds are tall. Just real quick, I want to look, see what our nearest VOR is. Should be the Mustache VOR 116.8. I have that set in case I need to do a pirate for how tall these clouds are. Jesus, I didn't expect them to go up this high. They are towering. Come on, textures. Alrighty. Alright, we'll continue climb up the cruise level, flight level 330. We can actually accelerate to normal climb speed now, which is 310. At Edith is the common waypoint, and from there we take the Bryce Canyon transition. Top of climb in about 50 miles is what it expects. Okay. We can close that now, that's not needed anymore. I wonder how tall these clouds go. They are up there, they are up into the flight levels. And they're pretty bumpy too, they're shaking the aircraft around pretty good. Looks like we're starting to skirt the tops now though. we are at 240. We'll say the clouds top off at, they might go all the way up to 30,000. There's an additional layer above this one. Beyond the clouds, the sun is not shining because it went down. Alright, real quick I'm going to check the chat. Any new questions? Nope, looks like it's still. Alright, we are climbing above the clouds now. Over there, you can still see a little bit of the sun skirting above the cloud tops. That is so cool. It's just like a blanket of clouds. You see bits of the ground poking through them, but over there it's just overcast. I don't think we need that anymore. I think this was all forecasted weather, so there's no need for a PIREP. Alright, we'll do an ATC check. LA Center is online. Are we going to enter their airspace at any time? Let me check. I don't think so. I think we're in Salt Lake and then Albuquerque Center. No, we will. We will enter LA Center for a brief time just prior to Bryce Canyon. And we'll stay with them all the way to Tents before we enter Albuquerque Center. There is a cold front over Phoenix right now, but doesn't look like there's any weather we need to worry about prior or on our route at all, really. There's some off route a bit, but we're not coming anywhere near it. Alright, I'm going to tune Bryce Canyon VOR 112.8. And we're going to want to call LA Center just prior to that, if they're still online. And what frequency were they on? 125.8. Most likely just say Delta 2398's with you, flight level 330. They'll give us a squawk code and we'll be through their airspace, no problem. Alright, I'm going to put the SIDS plate away, done with it. And we'll bring up Phoenix on here. Arrival we're using is the Bruiser 1 arrival, which has 3 pages. Holy cow. Okay, from Tents, there's a few crossing restrictions. Turbojet aircraft only. GPS aircraft landing west. splits after Bruiser, depending on which runway you're going to. Alright, we're level flight level 330. Let's inform dispatch we have reached top of climb. It's a bit of an icing warning there, but we are 1 minute early according to this. Alright, we are cruising and looks good, so we'll go ahead and flip off the seatbelt sign. Alrighty. Okay, how far are we from tents? Rice Canyon, then J11 to tents. Alrighty. I'm just gonna look ahead at the SID. Rice Canyon Fred Corker, tents, pant at flight level 290. Yep, all the crossing restrictions are in there. Take us all the way over to Meyer. Then it wants us to go from Bruiser. Has us on Ante, because I planned for the east op runways, I believe. So I planned for the 2 5s, so should be what we're getting, hopefully. Or they could change at any time while you're en route, so be ready for changes. Alright, well, we're stable at cruise. We'll flip on the VNAV. It'll speed us up to our cruise speed of 0.79 Mach. Alright, now that we're stable at cruise, feel free to ask any questions you might have. I'll be going back and forth between stuff, but I do have some free time at the moment now. Things aren't as hectic anymore. that next. What is our, let's see, available delay fuel of 1330, 15 minutes at 150 clean. Minimum landing fuel is 7.7, so if we ever drop below 7.7, we have to divert. We can no longer land at Phoenix. Is the live stream working? Because I'm trying to look at it now and it's not working for me. Liam G, wish you could have seen me take to the skies. Yeah, I just left not too long ago. 40 north at Hill Air Force Base, huh? Heading to Utah State. Have fun with that, dude. It's a blast. It's a blast. Live stream, I guess it just doesn't want to work for me. Interesting. Alright, which VOR is this? I don't know. MLF. Heading to Bryce Canyon. That's just prior to Bryce Canyon is when I need to call LA Center. 125 point whatever. 8. Alright. Got a headwind on us that should switch to a tailwind once we pass this VOR. Got a bit of a dog leg here. Alright, well, we ain't really got much to do at the moment, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. There's any traffic around here right now. Navy 604. Oh boy. Sub 737-800. That's him. That is not the proper call sign for Navy. If you want to enter a Navy call sign, I believe it's V, or VJ is what you got to enter. VJ 604. Alright, so I figured about 10 miles from Bryce Canyon is when we will call LA Center if he's still online. So let's actually go ahead and tune him. Listen in on him. Got a couple of
maintain 13000.
towering cumulus right there, but we're dog-legging around them now, so should be no factor.
79. Good evening, United 864, flight level 330. United 864, Los Angeles Center, good evening, cross time, on record maintain 12000, Los Angeles altimeter to 983. Say again, 39864, sorry, you cut out of it. United 864, cross Simon, and to maintain 12000. So maintain 12000, United. Oscar 376, descend and maintain 1000. One thousand, so Oscar 3786.
Sorry about the audio cutting out.
9579, proceed direct Ventura, resume the Ventura seat departure.
Flight Sim's audio cuts out whenever you switch windows, and I have to keep switching windows to the recording software to see the chat.
And climb to flight level 3 years ago.
I guess the Doom Open Beta must have just started.
Mexico Metro Roger, flight heading 250, climb and maintain 5000.
25,000, Mr. 19.
I'm on VATSIM at the moment. I am on the VATSIM network, about 40 northwest of the Bryce Canyon VOR, flight level 330, heading to Phoenix. VATSIM network. Sounds like LA Center's busy too. Oh, he's calmed down a little bit.
FedEx 916, descend and maintain 8000. FedEx 916.
Mexico 19, request short vectors, Iowa 65 left.
LA Center, North 39 off Mike, right, taxi. November 0 Golf Mike, good on the 31 left, taxi, Whiskey Alpha. November 0 Golf Mike, on the 31 left, taxi, Whiskey Alpha.
Bryce Canyon, never really been there.
Back to the final first course.
I don't even think I've been there in flight sim, actually.
Oscar 3796, turn left heading 090, descend and maintain 3000, back to the final first course.
Man, that guy's talking quickly.
Zero 3000 for Alaska 3786. Los Angeles Center requesting to send down to flight level 180, Delta 1524. Delta 1524, descend and maintain flight level 180. Descend and maintain flight level 180, Delta 1524.
Ditch that, might look a little bit better. Alright, we're about 23 northwest of Bryce Canyon. We'll call them at 10 DME.
FedEx 916, turn left heading 280. Heading 0, Alaska 3706, was that turned to 030?
I showed 2 watching on my side.
Alaska 376,
You
Alpha
and
heading 0,
presumably Lil
0,
Small still here. It does see 2 people on my end. It's telling me there's 2 people watching, but
090,
not sure.
3646.
All right, we're at 15. Let's get ready to call this guy. It'll be Delta 2398 with you, flight level 330, 10 northwest of the Bryce Canyon VOR.
Air Mexico 19, I have the airport 45 requested.
Mexico maintains equally approach, runway 25 left, and runway 25 left, to land.
We have a visual 25 left, please allow us to landing. Let's set it for about a 10 mile possible for 25 left.
Mexico maintains roger.
Los Angeles Center, Delta 2398.
Delta 2398, Los Angeles Center, go ahead.
Los Angeles Center, Delta 2398 is at flight level 330, about 10 northwest of the Bryce Canyon VOR, entering your airspace.
Delta 2398, for contact squawk 7147.
Squawk 7147, Delta 2398. And we'll be in his airspace for a little while. Unless Albuquerque Center comes online, which they are not.
Los Angeles Center, Delta Romeo 0. Delta Romeo 0, Los Angeles Center, go ahead.
From Palmdale, we'd like to track direct to Baldy for the RMPIR approach runway 31 left at Palm Springs.
Delta Romeo 0, proceed as requested.
Delta Romeo 0, thanks.
Alrighty. Just top of descent, 130 miles.
Ramping down, thanks for service, good night.
Good time to punch in the descent info.
That's what 427, we'll see it.
Alright, so descent winds 300-250-200. And they were 280 at 94.
916, fly heading 300.
94. Damn, they are booking it.
300.
290 at 90 is what I saw.
Cayman 036, Alpha current descent via the old level.
280 at 84.
Runway 25 left approach.
Those winds are getting it, aren't they? We are going to hit the jet stream at some point.
Cayman 06, no problem. Clear ILS runway 24 right approach.
Roger, you
Yeah.
want to level 2 for right approach.
The jet stream is at flight level 320, pretty much right over Phoenix. You can see how it's going. So we'll be hitting into it as we descend.
Alaska
Shouldn't be no
3796,
too much
turn
of
left
that.
heading 330, descend and maintain 1600.
Alright.
030,
Don't need to punch in the this info here yet. TAI is not going to be needed.
Alaska 376, and that's heading 330, 330. 330 for Alaska 3796. Southwest 1744, contact Oakland Center 132.2, have a good night.
132.2 Delta 1744, good night.
Alrighty. Let me bring up the en route chart real quick.
Delta Romeo Sierra cross Baldy at about 1000, clear the approach requested.
Baldy at 13,000, cleared 3 approach, Delta Romeo Sierra, thank you.
And we'll be leaving his airspace at around Tents, entering Albuquerque center
FedEx 916, I show you
airspace,
climbing, descended, maintain 5000.
who's not online at the moment.
Roger that. Just from here, that's roll it, yeah, descended, maintain to 5000. After maintain 5000, from Vegas Airport is at 12 o'clock, 20 miles. Report inside.
Not only is the jet stream going over Phoenix,
Negative center, I don't have to check inside.
so is there's a big cold front going over it too.
Alaska 376, 2 miles from Becca. Maintain 1,600
clouds.
established on the localized declare ILS from the 3H. Roger, maintain 16. ILS from the 30. Spot SLC-PHX.
Just to prep ourselves a little bit, we gotta look at the weather going on at Phoenix. Temperature 23, dew point 8, altitude 2967.
Los Angeles winds 260 at 5.
Few clouds. We might be able to make the visual. I would prefer the visual. What's this? Remark, front winds, yada yada yada. No winds aloft data available, of course not. Clouds are at 11,000 with 2/8 coverage.
Alaska 376, wind 260 at 13, runway 30, clear to land. Clear to land, runway 30, Alaska 37.
Not quite sure. I mean, let me see what approaches they have available. I know there's a full assortment of approaches at Phoenix. We ILS, RNAV. We're planning for the runway 26.
Hello, Center, good day, Hawaiian 8, will you flash 370?
Weather is good enough for a visual, though it is a bit windy.
Hawaiian 8, Los Angeles, good evening, Squawk 160.
I'll leave it up to you guys in the chat. Let me know
Squawk 71,
what approaches you want. Your options
Hawaiian,
are the ILS, the RNAV Zulu, the RNAV Yankee, or the visual. So type it in the chat which approach you want me to do. I wonder if there's a way to turn that off. I really don't need to know that you're playing the Doom open beta.
Sorry, Hawaiian 8, just to confirm our Squawk Pacific 7, right?
Hawaiian 8, with a ferry contact 5 miles west, OEM. Alaska 376, cross runway, need to taxi discretion with you.
Alright, you say visual. I like the way you think, because visual can get us in a little faster. Just looking through the approaches now.
Los Angeles Center requesting to go down to foot level 140 for Delta 1524.
Alright. Visual sounds fun to me.
47, maintain 1,000 to altimeter to 980. Descend to level 140 and altimeter 297 for Delta 1524.
Los Angeles Center, good evening. Air Canada 786 on the ground, LAX. Information Alpha on board. Press power for our currency to Rochester.
Canada 76 Los Angeles continue include to Toronto Airport 8 departure baggage transition and then a final
all the way to Toronto.
Block 716
It's a long flight, buddy.
block only.
7163 squawk for Air Canada 786.
Air Canada 76, thank you, accept 725 right.
A little bit of light left in the
25
horizon
right,
over
we'll
there.
call for taxi Air Canada 786 for sure.
No descent path at Takuka, that's fine. Alrighty. We're closer to top of descent now. Let's go ahead and load in weather info. Actually.
Next for 19 clear, 25
Descend.
Next question, cross
Forecast.
runway 25 right, thanks for the discussion, have a good night.
Cross the right
I
side.
need the ISA deviation calculator.
Notice the airman Los Angeles Center is now closed, thank you for traffic.
Damn. He just up and fucked off, didn't he? Just like, yeah, I'm close, goodbye. Beep. Alright, well. Jesus, no one else was online, so. Back to advisory we go. Alrighty, ISA calculator. The elevation at Phoenix is what? 1,135. Temperature at Phoenix is currently 23 degrees. Calculate ISA deviation. ISA is plus 10. Alright, so ISA deviation of 10, QNH, 2967. That's punched in. Top of descent, moved back a little bit, looks like. Alright, the runways are plenty long enough. So I'd say auto brake setting 2 will be fine. And as for our speed, we'll fly flaps 30 at 145 knots. Wind correction is plus 5. Alright, now real quick, I am going to, since we are planning for runway 26, let me look at the RNAVs real quick. RNAV Zulu, runway 26. It's RMP and I really don't feel like measuring with that. So I will go ahead and load in the RNAV approach, that way we have it on the display as a reference. RNAV Yankee, runway 26 is what we're looking for. And we want the Zerlo transition. And that will be loaded onto our display. That way we have a reference as to our location on the final approach path. And minimums will be 1,800. Just gotta hold this thing down. That's really the only way to set the minimums. So barometric minimums of 1,800. Even though we're gonna be doing the visual, we'll have the RNAV loaded up. That way we have the location. So we got some traffic ahead of us. Well, he's 1,000 above, opposite direction, but he's about 40 miles away, so God willing, won't be a factor. Hitting the microphone, sorry. Holding down that button is a pain in the butt. Alright, minimums are set. And bottom altitude. Just need to punch in our lowest crossing restriction, which is, we'll say 11,000. So we'll put that in there, and that tells the autopilot to send as I have programmed in the FMS. Do not go any lower than 11,000 feet. After tenths, first crossing restriction is flight level 290 at plant. And we'll do an ATC check real quick. Still nobody online. It is a Friday night, so it's not too surprising. Wonder where the FNO is at tonight. Not quite sure where it's supposed to be. Traffic we got around here. FedEx 7172, that's probably him right there. Can't see him, but he's over there somewhere. Go ahead and let the cabin know we're going to be descending soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have started our descent. In preparation for landing, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. Make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened, and all carry-on luggage is stowed underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead bin. Please turn off all electronic devices until we are
server follow, well, real local times. There is sort of an assumption that you are using real time, but it's not required, so they could be at daytime or nighttime, it really doesn't matter, but there is an assumption that you are using the real time stuff. But it's not always the case. You can use whatever time you want. Alright, we're approaching top of descent now. Alright, crossing top of descent. Let's let dispatch know we have reached that. Alright, they still have us on time. 43 minutes before arrival, though. We're too close to revise that, so we might just have to take the early arrival hit. Guess we made better time than we thought we would. Let's see, it's 3:14, and we're gonna arrive at 3:44. Well, 20, 30, 40, it's 30 minutes. Might be closer than that, actually. Alright, descent checks.
Okay, descent checks.
Okay, descent checks. Pressurization.
Yep, set.
Recall.
Checked, okay.
Auto brake.
As required.
Landing weight and data.
Reviewed, set.
Approach briefing.
Completed.
Checklist complete.
Hello, Xavier. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Because you look outside and it's dark, and the only thing I see on your screen is your instruments. Yeah, it is a bit dark. The sun went down, so there's a little bit of light left on the horizon over there, but there really shouldn't be. I need to look into that. My sim's been a bit messed up with its night textures lately, and it's been showing that texture even in the middle of the night. Something's up. I think the textures may have got screwed up. I don't know, I can fix that though. Cool, hope you enjoy it. The Steam version, I'm not running the Steam version. It runs a bit better than this one. I'm getting 30 frames per second right now, but if I was on the Steam version, I would expect that to be better. The Steam version has a bit better optimization. Alright, we're descending into Phoenix now. This is they start you out from a long way, don't they, on this one? You try to brighten up these a little bit. Turn the brightness on the displays up a bit. Or not the displays, but the panel. Let you see it a little bit better. Hi, I'm John Doe. How you doing? Is the stream or normal? Or is the Steam or normal? No, this is the disc version. I do have the Steam version, but I am not using it. And unfortunately, no, I do not have a DA42, sadly. The stream is delayed by about 5 seconds, guys, so I see your chats and then when I say something, it's a 5-second delay before you hear it. So that's just for internet purposes. I need that delay. But to answer your question, no, this is not the Steam version. It's the disc version. Though I do have the Steam version, I'm just not using it at the moment. Alright, next crossing is Mittler at 190 or 25. I do not know. The older one most likely not, though they should be releasing a new 747 soon, and that will most likely work on the Steam version. But the older 74 probably not. There is also the iFly 747, which most likely should work with Steam. I haven't really looked at it. Holy crap, we went into the clouds. I officially can't see nothing. Alright, pulling the speed back to 270 now. X1R, take off one left. Now, I don't know for sure whether or not the iFly 747 works on Steam or not. I would assume it would. I wouldn't see why it wouldn't, but if you're saying they failed worse than PMDG, I really don't know what you mean by that. Okay, let me pull my joystick throttle back. Just got a message from dispatch. Cleared approach into Phoenix, expect gate 19, winds 300 at 18, runways are dry. Alright, and let's check the airport diagram. Winds are 300, that would still favor runway 26. So that is a pretty decent crosswind. Let's bring up the crosswind thing. Airport winds. Phoenix. And the winds are 300 at 18. Does favor runway 26. It'll have a 13.8 knot crosswind and an 11.6 knot or 11.6 knot crosswind and a 13.8 knot headwind. Huh. That sucks. I'd look into that, dude. That sounds a bit messed up. Just be seeing some of that stuff. Probably a corrupt installation or something like that, because that doesn't sound right, even for the Steam version. Okay, so runway 26 is what we're arriving on. And we'll be shooting the visual. Which I have already loaded. Just a real quick check since we are descending to 180 now. They're 2971, so their altimeter has gone up. Yeah, they got a new 747 coming out, though, that will most likely be on the Steam version as well. But at the moment, yeah, only the 7.3 and the 777 work on Steam. Alright, autopilot's holding us here for whatever. It doesn't want us to descend lower yet. There it goes. Steep descent after bruiser. Alright, well, we'll be ready for that. How is it a steep descent? That is not the steepest crossing restrictions in the world. I do not have X-Plane or Prepare 3D, nope. I will probably look into getting Prepare 3D in the future. X-Plane's not really on the table for me. Not that it's a bad sim, it's just I got enough invested in FSX that Prepare 3D is just a better option. Because most of the stuff I have is backwards compatible with it, as opposed to X-Plane, where I'd have to completely learn a new sim.
Transition altitude, altimeter.
And
have
to rebuy a lot of stuff. I have several fighter aircraft. I have my Strike Eagle, which is my favorite, with the lovely Shahaya Kasiyargi painted on it. I have an F-22, a freeware F-22 that's not the best in the world. I also have the F-35 from Dino, a T-45 Goshawk also from Dino, as well as a Harrier jet. There's a Cobra attack helicopter as well. Plus I have a military variant of this aircraft. And I also have the default 737 painted Hatsune Miku on the side, because I am a complete nerd. I'm trying to remember, do I have any other fighter jets other than that? I'm not sure. I think that's all of them. Drag's required. Well, have some drag. I should fly the Strike Eagle on a live stream. It's one of my favorite planes. I might do an MTR one day with it. I always fly the Idolmaster paint job too. I can physically not fly any other paint job. It has to be that one. I love the Strike Eagle. I don't have the PMDG 7.4. It's such a big bird, and I never really do routes long enough to get the most out of a big aircraft like that. Ooh, yeah. I do have a modified version of the default 747, which actually does have an FMS and full VNAV, TCAS, and all that fun stuff in it. So it's not as good as PMDG, but it'll serve the purpose. So whenever I need a 747 in my life. All right, let's go ahead and drop this all the way down to 7,000. Okay, just gotta start looking for the airport. It's clear in a million. All these clouds are probably associated with this front that came through. Come on, need you a little slower than that, please. Because we're getting a little close to 10,000 feet. I need you to slow back to 240 now. Alrighty, let's type out our message, PHX, and we'll just say 5 nautical mile final, runway 26. We'll have that on standby. Alright, airplane, I need you a little slower than this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have started our descent. In
I'll
preparation
just use
for
V-speed
landing,
hold from
please
now
make
on.
sure your seat backs and tray
I need it to
tables
go
are in their
slower.
full upright position. Make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened, and all carry-on luggage is stowed underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead bin. Please turn off all electronic devices until we are safely parked at the gate.
Oh, I forgot to turn the seatbelt sign back on.
Flight attendants are currently passing around the cabin to make a final compliance check and to pick up any remaining
10,000 feet,
passenger
lights are on.
Thank you.
Descent path is not unachievable, shut your face. Heading 079. F-16s and F-35s. I do have a, yeah, the Dino F-35 is really nice. Other than the Aerosoft F-16, there aren't any good F-16s available, though that would be a nice plane to have. Looked into getting Falcon BMS if I wanted to fly around in an F-16, though. Can actually blow something up with it. Let's go ahead and bring this back at 210. I believe that's Phoenix right there. Let's zoom in on it and find out. Yep, that looks like Phoenix to me. But we'll enter the pattern as depicted here. Let's drop it down to 4,000 feet because we're a little high at the moment. You back here. Our approach speed is going to be 144. John Doe, unfortunately there are no decent 787s available for Flight Sim X. There's only one, and it's the Abacus, and it's terrible. There's a couple of freewares, but there's no good payware 787s, sadly. QW is working on one, but they are taking their precious time, that's for sure. And there ain't no such thing as a peasant player, if you ask me. Gotta focus on life, so... The good thing about Steam is you can nick a lot of good games on sale, but the bad thing about a lot of flight sim games is nothing ever goes on sale. Oh well. 210. We can steepen this descent a little bit. Alright, we can keep the airport in sight from the FO side of the, yep, FO can still see it. So we'll just loop around. I'll be turning the autopilot off here shortly. Because it is on LNAV heading hold at the moment. Let's go ahead and drop speed back to 180. Set this back to 1,000 feet per minute. That's good, that's good. Go ahead and those on, continuous for both of these, and do the approach checks.
Approach checks, please.
Okay, approach check. Altimeter.
Is set.
Approach check complete.
Alright, I got the throttles, and I got the airplane. Alright, we'll start a turn to the right now. Flaps 1.
Speed check. Flaps 1. Spoilers
Speed brakes
down.
arm. Flaps 2.
Speed check. Flap 2.
Alright, I see the rails for runway 26. Flaps 5.
Speed check. Flaps 5.
Alright. Airport in sight, lining up for 26. We do have a crosswind from the right. Don't see any traffic. One last controller check. No controller online. I'll go ahead and post my message, even though we're not quite 5 miles out yet. Be good to let people know we're coming in. Alright, gotta go sterile, guys. Can't answer your questions until we get back on the ground. Flip off the flight director. Don't need that on. Alright, gear down.
Gear down.
Start our final descent. Seat the flight attendants.
Flight attendants, take your seats for landing.
Flaps 10.
Speed check. Flaps 10. Gear down. 3 green.
Missed approach altitude is 5,000 feet. Flaps 15.
Flaps 15.
Flaps 20.
Flaps 25.
Flaps 30.
Speed check. Flaps 30.
Look at that frame rate.
1,000.
Spoilers, please.
Spoilers armed.
Spoilers are armed.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Landing. Float, don't float, don't float, don't float, don't float.
Spoilers up.
Touchdown.
Manual braking.
Reverser.
100 knots. Engaging reverse thrusters. 80 knots. Reverse idle.
Reverse idle.
60 knots.
Manual braking. Make this turn off. Flaps up. This is Bravo 6.
Flaps 25. Flaps 15. Flaps 10. Flaps 5.
PHX clear, runway 26. Alright, and we are heading to gate 19, I believe.
Flaps up.
Delta Airlines is our who we want handling it. Alrighty, Marshaller has been dispatched on site. Just where is that gate exactly?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your destination. For your safety, we
Oh, holy crap.
please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Looks like there's somebody there.
Spoilers down.
You may have to park at a different gate. Looks like there may be someone in ours. Alright, we're heading to Terminal 3. We're at the Charlie 6 getting on Charlie.
One of your crew members will then be pleased to assist you. We remind you to please wait until inside the terminal to use any electronic devices or to smoke in the designated areas. Also, once in the terminal, please check the monitors for connecting gate and baggage claim information. I'd like to thank you for joining us on this flight, and we're looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future.
This is is Charlie 7 right here. That's Terminal 3 right there. And Gate 19, I believe, is on the other side of that. But I think somebody may be parked there.
Our speed is too high.
Yep, I believe somebody is parked in our gate. Alright, well let's take the one next to them then. Gate change, proceed to gate 24. Oh, they last minute changed it on us. Alright, change parking facility gate 24. I don't... Request follow me... Yes, I don't know where that's at on the airport. Alright, we're assigned gate 24. They're going to send a follow me out to find us. We'll wait for that follow me to get here. There he is right there. Alright, we'll just follow him to gate 24. Apparently he knows where it's at. Gotta watch our speed though. The GSX follow me is a bit sensitive. If you overspeed, it will just run off. It will literally just run away. Okay, he's turning left back onto Charlie. Where is gate 24? It's on that side of Terminal 3. I see the trucks parked over there. I really need to look into why this sky texture has still got all this light in the sky. It should be a lot darker. Alright, he's turning at the last turn in. Alrighty. That's the first time I've ever had a last minute gate change like that. Because they told me gate 19 on the arrival and then I land and they've changed it to 24. Alright, taxi light off. Parking brake set.
Brake set to park.
Brake pressure up.
Alrighty. We'll kill that engine, and I forgot to turn that off after I landed. Open that. Ground power is connected. Shut all this off. That can go turned off. And that engine off. Alrighty.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your destination. Please check around your seat for any personal belongings you may have brought on board with you, and please use caution when opening the overhead bins, as heavy articles may have shifted around.
Let there be light.
If you require deplaning assistance, please remain in your seat until all the other passengers have deplaed. One of your crew members will then be pleased to assist you. We remind you to please wait until inside the terminal to use any electronic devices or to smoke.
Alright, wheel shot set. We can turn that off.
Also, once in the terminal, please check the monitors for
Engines have spooled down enough that we can turn off the beacon light.
I'd like to thank you for joining us
We'll turn on the wing inspection and wheel well lights now.
again in the near future.
Ground crew's gonna get the cargo off. Go ahead and seatbelt sign off. And the passengers can get the hell off my airplane. On-time arrival. That's what I like to see.
Bye, thank you. Bye.
Alrighty, let me catch up on what the chat has here. Get your license in a DA-40. Have fun with that, man. Will I be flying again tonight? Probably not, because it's almost midnight here where I'm at. And does it look like twilight? It does look like twilight, but it's not supposed to be. The sun went down a long time ago. That should be much darker. Looks like that is a Frontier flight there. Yep, Frontier flight just pushed back after we arrived. Alrighty. So, let's get everything secured.
Okay, parking checks.
Okay. Parking check. Fuel pump switches.
That's off.
Probe heat.
Is off.
Hydraulic.
Set. Correct.
Flaps.
Flaps up.
Parking brake.
Yep. Set.
Weather radar.
Okay, off.
Checklist complete.
Alrighty then. Nope, I live in Georgia. I'm using a Satec AVAR, one of the first gen of the Aviator as well. Now that's the only input I have, is just that little joystick. I don't have a lot of room on my desk for a yoke or anything like that. And I don't have rudder pedals, sadly. All I have is this little joystick. But it gets the job done. Alrighty. Let's look through how our flight was. 2398. Flight score 87. Passengers are deplaning. Scheduled arrival at 20:55. Actual arrival at 21:48. What time is it here? Oh well. It said I had an on-time arrival. Light turbulence, burned about 8,500 of fuel. Landing rate was 150 feet per minute on touchdown. I do not have a space sim, sadly. I really don't think I'd get a lot of enjoyment out of a space simulator. I did a live stream on Twitch the other day in the Cessna 206. Northwest I don't really go to that often, so I probably should do some stuff around there. Let's see, we started at 2:16, ended at 03:16. It says on time arrival. Base score 85, on time with no ETE revisions, -3 for belt sign left on. What? Belt sign left on? Well, yeah, because it was bumpy on the climb. I forgot to turn it back on during the descent, but I flipped it on at 10,000 feet. Oh well, whatever you say. Final come to 87. Alright, wait on the passengers to get off. And it's the SATEC AV8R. -01 is the one I have, which they don't. They still sell the Aviator, AV8R as it's called. That's the letters AV, number 8, and then the letter R. They still sell it, but they don't sell the first gen version like I have. Alrighty, passengers have all gotten off of this death trap of an airplane. And the flight has been logged. Alrighty, that was a pretty fun flight. There's some small aircraft cross countries in the northwest. I'll have to look into it. Some mountain flying does sound pretty fun. That was interesting because I've never seen dispatch do a last minute gate change on me like that. Because on the arrival they said use gate 19, then when I landed they had changed it to gate 24. And I didn't notice that till I was at the terminal. Had to circle back around. Oh well, live and learn, things happen. Anyway, that is going to do it on this flight, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and we shall see you next time. Take care, everyone.